boy, my 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 boy. Say what?
Who gon' bring the crown? Or who gon' try to fuck me? Baby on the ground, and she can't get enough of me. I don't play around, don't got that type of luck. Bitches going down, nobody catching up with me. Who gon' bring my crown? And who gon' try to fuck with me? Faded off the ground, she can't get enough of me. I don't play around, don't got that type of luxury. Bitches going down, and ain't no catching up with me. Who gon' bring my crown? And who gon' try to fuck with me? Faded off the ground, she can't get enough of me. I don't play around, don't got that type of luxury. Bitches going down, and ain't no catching up with me. Who gon' bring my crown?
What up, family? It's me, Rondo, a.k.a. Parnell Shuttlesworth, b.k.a. your mom's homie, a.k.a. Young Ash Ketchum. I gotta catch 'em all. FKA Mr. Big Stuff. And my pronouns is Black Matrix. And I would like to welcome y'all to the Treehouse out of Chicago. This 7 Tree, the podcast, in conjunction with the Bel Air Boys. Here we discuss wrestling and all things associated with it. And whether it's your first time checking us out or you've been here before, do me a favor. Make sure you like it. Make sure you're following. Make sure you're subscribed on whatever platform you're checking us out on. The Tree is available wherever you get your podcasts. Now, without any further ado, we're going to move right into it. Today, we are reviewing the March 10th episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Obviously, we're on the road to WrestleMania, and the card, the road, it's starting to come together. Things have been falling into place, and we're starting to get matches, we're starting to get storylines, and it's actually starting to cook a little bit, if I do say so myself. Now, tonight we're in San Antonio, Texas. We get shots of San Antonio. We get shots of CM Punk and AJ Lee making their way through the arena. We get shots of Bayley, or AJ Lee has a match against Bayley. We get shots of Alpha Academy, Maxine walking through backstage. She has a match this evening as well. We get shots of J.D. McDonough blowing out candles on a birthday cake, and him and the rest of the Judgment Day disposing of Finn Balor's remaining gear in the Judgment Day den. Solemn times. Solemn times. We also have Stephanie Vaquer. She has a match against Raquel Rodriguez this evening. They go over Randy snapping on Cody, and as they're preparing to talk about that, the bunch of masked men begin to surround the ring. They enter the ring area. Seth Rollins rolls into the ring. He unmasks, and he begins to go off. He says he started the Vision. He will be the one to destroy the Vision. The worst thing he could have ever done was let Paul Heyman into his inner circle. Cue the Jericho reference, by the way. He says, anybody that stands with Paul Heyman, consider yourself marked for death. Heyman appears at the top of the ramp. He begins to make his way down. Seth taunts Heyman. He's like, come on, Paul, you can't walk no faster than that. Can't walk any faster than that. Heyman says, oh, I'm just effing with you. Am I interrupting your little hateful promo? He says, I'm effing with you like you effed with me. And you're going to find out, like everyone already knows. F-A-F. And I popped. I'm like, okay, they got me with that. This camera tweaking on me. Every time I throw my hand up, it unregisters my face. But anyway, Heyman hit him with the F5. Cue Brock Lesnar's music. My man's forever loyal to Paul Heyman. Like, he refuses to not leave his side no matter what. So Brock comes down to the ring. The masked men step up. So, of course, we get the display of Brock Lesnar destroying a bunch of jobbers. Masked NXT members, and from what I hear, some Seth Rollins students from his wrestling school. And Brock runs through him. Suplexes for everybody. Tossing people on top of people. Tossing people into the steps. Tossing people into the barricade. No regard for human life whatsoever. Like, and Brock's one of the safest wrestlers in the business. He's very concerning, meaning, because I might have used that phrasing wrong. If he does a move and he thinks he's hurt someone, he'll send Heyman or he'll tell the ref to go check on the guy. Y'all seen it. He did it maybe 5-6 weeks ago. He was wrestling somebody. Oh, Theory. Last year when he threw Theory on his head. He had the refs go check on him, whatever the case was. Anywho, Brock gets into the ring and the lights go out. Cue Obafemi's music. Obafemi? And I was not expecting this, but I'm glad they got right to it. Now, we could talk about two situations. We could talk about how this needs to happen. We could talk about how they hit the fast forward button on this to make this happen. Why did they fast forward it? Because you got to start building the card now. Ticket sales are way down for WrestleMania. I mean, not surprisingly at all. You don't have a show. You maybe got 2 matches for a 2-night event. You don't even have a pre-show. You don't even have a starter match. I mean, true wrestlers fans, we know where you're going with it, but you got to build the card. Not to mention, y'all buried yourself by running it back in Vegas. That move, geez Louise, that move shows 2 separate things, that y'all greedy for money and that y'all don't truly care about the fans. But anyway, Femi makes his way down to the ring, stalking Brock Lesnar, eyes locked. And for the first time in a long time, Brock Lesnar kinda looks shook. Obafemi, eyes still locked, steps through the ropes into the ring, walks towards Brock Lesnar. Now they're about 5 feet away from each other. Everybody knows it's 3 feet, no pressure. So you still got a good 2 feet before anything can actually pop off for real. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins still in the ring. He in the corner. Brock is watching both of them. So now I'm hands on my apologies. I'm like this. I'm hands on my face trying to see what's going on. Seth steps up to Brock. Brock turns to Seth. Seth steps out of the ring. Brock looks like he escorting him out type deal. He turns back. And when he turns into Obafemi, and Oba catches him in the fall from grace and puts the beast down in a fashion like I've never seen. Maybe with the Big Show, maybe with Undertaker, but this hit different because this Brock we've seen, the only person that beaten this Brock for real, I guess you could say Roman. Cody did, but for real, Brock don't lose. I don't know if he's going to lose against Oba, but the fact that we have an actual challenger for Brock Lesnar in a match that will this is the most legitimate contender since Bobby Lashley. So I'm locked in for this joint. Oba puts him down with the fall from grace, stands up and hits an emote that I did not know. I hope he has that in the game because I'm telling you right now, I'm putting that to my wrestler. That emote after he hit that fall from grace and got up and hit the King Kong. I don't know what it's called. I'm going to call it the King Kong. He got up and hit the King Kong, pound his chest. He do. I'm like, hey, yo, I need that emote on my wrestler. So the 2 emotes I got for sure on my wrestler, I got the Kevin Nash Too Sweet, because it's Wolfpack for life. And then I got to get that Obafemi joint. I'm going to go check that out after I get the recording. Oba pops up, emote, pound the chest, step on Brock Lesnar chest, and everybody already saw the reports. Brock told Oba to do that. Brock is putting Oba over. That's the character of Brock Lesnar as a professional. He's willing to do business if business makes sense. He's always been like that. Brock's never been a difficult wrestler. You heard the stories about him and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But Brock puts over, if business makes sense, he's going to do business. And this is a money-making match. Sucks that he's retiring because this could be a best of 3 series between him and Oba going into WrestleMania again type deal. After that, we get a promo recap from Punk when he was talking to the Usos. So basically what happened, Punk comes out for his promo and the Usos come out. They interrupt him. And Jay hot as fish grease. And he said, hey, Punk, we need you to apologize right now. And I remember thinking Jay is really mad about this now. Punk obviously hit him with a Punk swerve. And it's giving me heel because this is the second or third. And I know they're trying to do away with the babyface heel dynamic. for certain wrestlers slash characters. Punk's towing the line. He's done more heel stuff than babyface stuff. He ain't been babyface since the handshake with Finn Balor. Everything since then's been heel. If I'm not mistaken, he's on the run. So anyway, he disrespected Roman Reigns' father. If you don't know, let me catch you up real quick. After that, the internet, a lot of people said Punk crossed the line. A lot of people felt some kind of way about that line in the promo. That's what Jay and Jimmy are talking about. Jimmy told him, like, look, Punk, a lot of respect for what you did, a lot of respect for what you do, but what you did was disrespect our dead uncle. This ain't got nothing to do with Roman. So apologize. And then Punk hit him with a swerve. I'm sorry. Shook their hands. Said, I'm sorry Roman had to send his young boys out here. Put the mic through Jay's chest. Jay said, what? Push Punk. Punk stepped up and big bro Jimmy say, I don't think so, son. Stole his, knocked him down. He in the corner, he on the ropes. Joe Frazier style. Come on, camera. The automatic camera joint keeps spinning on me, throwing me off. This Celsius is on point. I was exhausted earlier, but it's putting me right back where I need to be. Product placement. Anywho, after that, we get a recap of El Grande Americano, along with the OG El Grande, having a 4-way match in play for the Rey del Reyes, whatever that is. Long story short, Los Americanos handcuff OG Grande in the stands, and El Grande manages to roll up and gets the victory. So he is the winner. And the Grand Rey del Reyes, I don't know what that is, but I promise that's what they called it. Anyway, these two have a match this evening. This is the first time they've had a match one-on-one in WWE. Also, reports have come out about the fact that from this point forward, the real Grande Americano, not the OG, the real Grande Americano will officially be the wrestler that we see, especially going forward in AAA. He will only wrestle as El Grande Americano. But anyway, these two make their entrance. First you get Grande, then you get OG. They're both over with the crowd. The bell rings. OG hits a Liger kick off the jump. He's on the attack. A lot of big chops. Hits a big back body drop. The Americanos intervene to help swing the momentum in the Real Grande's favor. The Real Grande hit a basement drop kick. He also hits a spinning side slam for a 2 count. They're attacking each other back and forth. The Real Grande goes for a diving into the ring maneuver and is caught by OG Grande into a Northern Lights. Only gets a 2. They come back from break and OG is in control of the match. He goes into his 3 German suplexes. He hits those. He has to hit a spin kick on both Bravo and Rayo. They constantly interfering. Then OG hits an inverted Death Valley driver from the ropes on Grande, only gets a 2. The real Grande hits a big kick on OG. Then he hits an Insecurity and a seated Death Valley driver from the top ropes, only gets a 2. But it looks like it was a 3. So the crowd chanting "Ref, you suck." Also, I forgot earlier, in the live watch through, when it aired live during the Heyman and Seth Rollins promo, the crowd chanted "F you Heyman," and Seth said, "I don't have to say it, Paul, they'll say it for me." Now, as of 2 or 3 days afterwards, it was the same. On the rewatch later, they changed and edited out the "F you Heyman" into a "You suck" chant. They edited it and cut out parts so it didn't sync up mouth-wise, but they found audio to cover up the "F you Heyman" chants. I think that's funny every time I recognize that on the rewatch. But I digress. OG gets tossed over into the corner. He flips out the corner and catches the Real Grande in an ankle lock. He has a minute for a minute, but Grande reaches to the bottom rope. OG clotheslines him. The ref is distracted by Rayo, so he doesn't see the obvious 3 count that the OG has on the Real Grande. I hate this match. It's so confusing at times. Anyway, OG clotheslines Rio off of the apron. While that's happening, the ref is distracted again. Bravo slides in the ring. He puts the metal plate into the real Grande's mask, who is still knocked out in the middle of the ring. OG Grande climbs to the top rope, goes for the diving headbutt, which is his finisher. Connects it, knocks himself out though, because obviously he headbutts the man in the metal plate. The real Grande barely comes to, rolls over for the pin. 1, 2, 3. The real Grande picks up the victory. The Americanos get in the ring and celebrate with a very knocked out and very much still dazed Grande Americano. After the match, we get shots of a vehicle pulling up. Stops getting out the vehicle. It's the OTC. Roman Reigns is in the building. He making his way through the backstage, and instantly, maybe 12 feet away from where he just pulled up, the Usos standing there like they've been there waiting for him. It's an awkward stare down for a couple of seconds. Then they all crack smirks. They acknowledge the fact that, yeah, nah, it's good. Y'all did what y'all was supposed to do. Roman, like, matter of fact, then he looks straight down the barrel of the camera. Connection to all of my family, cousins. He basically give them the green light. Tell them, hey, y'all all should feel disrespected by what Punk said. Y'all all should want to do something. Roman say, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of it tonight. Uso say, yeet. Jimmy like, yeah, come on. And right there, we're going to take a quick break because this is a so far so decent episode of Raw. And that's only in comparison. And I'll tell you what in comparison to when we get back from break. Y'all hang tight. Back from break, we got a recap of Dom coming out and complaining about losing his title to Penta, demanding a rematch. Then he said, we all know why I lost. Calls out Finn Balor. Finn basically says, look, Dom, you wanted to do this on your own. You should have did it yourself. Now, you did lose your title because of me, and I'm sorry. But the fact of the matter is, you ain't nothing but a little crybaby whiner. And he calls him a P-Rick, which causes Dom to push Finn, and Finn unleashes 2 years of fury and anger on Dom. And as he lines up to hit him, he's cut off by JD. And they proceed to all attack Finn and essentially remove him from the Judgment Day stable, officially turning Finn Balor babyface. So on his return, upon the return of Finn Balor, it's going to be, dare I say, he'll be on Demon Time. Then we get a Liv promo basically explaining how this was her plan the whole time, to get Finn out of Judgment Day. She noticed all the little slick stuff Finn was doing in the cut. Like, even though back then when they were running that storyline, they didn't speak on it, she leads us now to believe that she was paying attention the whole time and this was the plan. Could I go for it? Maybe. I mean, it's working so far. I get it. Keeping in mind, everything that's taking place now with this WrestleMania card, all of this is like backup plan situations. I'm trying to think, like, off the top of my dome. Is there anything that was officially set in stone that's on the card right now? And I think the only thing might be Stephanie versus Liv. No. AJ versus Becky. Yeah. Nothing big time was officially on the card. So she calls Finn weak. She calls him pathetic. She calls him washed up. She says, now that Finn's gone, now that the princess is gone, there's a new king. So, yeah, we'll be on the lookout for this return of Finn Balor to take umbrage against the Judgment Day. Michael Cole then talks about the fact that Dom got injured in his match in AAA, defending his mega AAA championship against Vikingo in a no DQ match. Now, this is something I would like to see Dom do in WWE. Why are they getting that version of Dominic? Like, Dom doesn't wrestle for us. Just thinking about this, is that why he barely wrestles for us here? Because he's putting on like 4-star, 4.5-star matches over there? I mean, not saying it's Dom, but he has real competitors over there. He could do luchador stuff. Like, I saw highlights of that match. I would like to see that version of Dom in WWE. But anyway, Dom retained his title, but apparently he's injured himself, which is why he will not be able to face Penta tonight. And I guess in what would have been a rematch. Damn, I just stuttered hard right there. I guess he was gonna get a rematch, but since he's injured, they're gonna have to find another competitor to face Penta for the title. Backstage, we get Usos and Roman talking. They talking about, man, I don't know why you ain't still on Punk right then and now. Roman like, look, don't trip. Punk just mad. And let me get to this part right here. This rivalry between Roman Reigns and CM Punk is very much personal. The shots that they take at each other behind the scenes are so real. They're so personal. Check this out. This is what Roman said to the Usos backstage. Punk disrespected Roman's father. Roman said, the only thing that they could say about me is that I'm a part-timer. And as long as my family knows that I'm a full-time father, that's all that matters. That's the real legacy. Family, kids. That's a shot at Punk because he doesn't have any. And that's real. And when I heard that, I'm like, ayo. So just remember, all of like Punk is dangerous on the mic, but Roman ain't no slouch. And that was a straight jack. And that was a 1992 Ice Cube diss track, bar to your back. Big barrel, good night, bang. Like it was, and I picked up on it instantly. But Roman said, look, I don't need an apology from me, but he got to apologize for y'all. And I'm going to get that. So Roman will be coming out later on to speak. And mind you, this is the second time we've seen him this evening. This is the middle of the show. And he'll most likely be calling out CM Punk when he does. After this segment, we get AJ Lee making her entrance for her match against Bayley, who is challenging for the women's IC title. I just want to show you the pettiness of WWE, of Paul Levesque, to cut that promo and then have his wife come out afterwards. That's only something Triple H should do, man. The man be on week time for real, for real. But anyway, back from commercial, Bayley's already in the ring, so she doesn't even get an entrance. These two are good friends. AJ gets a couple of quick roll-ups for twos right away. Bayley gets a quick roll-up for a two. AJ hits a baseball slide to the outside, trips Bayley up. Back in the ring, she hits Bayley with a crossbody and a drop kick. Bayley, she rolls to the outside. Bayley gets back in the ring. AJ's in control. Couple of rest holds. Commentary is putting AJ Lee over tough. They're going on about the fact that she has to wrestle and it's long, how good she's looking in the ring, how on such a limited amount of time to prepare, she's doing this, that, and that. I mean, they're buttering her up heavy. What's the reasoning? Not completely sure, but they wanted you to know the fact that AJ Lee she has no rust, seemingly, when it comes to rest. Bayley hits her patented elbow. You know, Bayley loves an elbow. And she slowly starts to gain control. They both trade moves back and forth for a minute, hot minute. They trade pin attempts. AJ Lee hits the standing sliced bread, only gets a two. Bayley locks in a single leg crab. Then AJ escapes it, but Bayley hits a running big knee, goes for the pin, only gets a two. AJ Lee then reverses a rose plant, both counter each other's. Bayley hit the Bayley to belly, only gets the two. Then they both in the middle of the ring, trying to get the energy, the stamina. They're exhausted. They trading blows in the ring. In the middle, AJ hits the Shining Wizard. Bayley goes for a top rope elbow, but misses it. AJ Lee locks in the Black Widow. Bayley tries to fight. She tries to fight it off to no avail. She ends up tapping. AJ Lee retains, wins, and she shows sign of respect with the handshake after the match. I don't like that Bayley has been relegated to Natalia status. Bayley just counts the lights now, and it sucks. If they were going to do something with the split personality angle, I'm down, but they're teasing it, and it ultimately seems like they do not know what they're going to do with it. Like they don't have any direction with this character's storyline. Like I want to see her go crazy. You know what? Just now thinking, I need to put that on a shirt. Put that on a shirt. Just now thinking, because I was just now thinking, turn Bayley heel again at WrestleMania. We like heel Bayley. I feel like we're going into an attitude era style of wrestling, meaning wrestlers that are bad guys are going to get cheered as babyface. It's happening now. It's happening now. Now, mind you, certain wrestlers are going to be over, period. Obafemi will be cheered. Brock Lesnar, he could do something to a certain babyface and get booed. But they've turned Randy Orton heel and he's getting cheered. But we know that's because it's against Cody. Certain people turning heel gets them more over. Becky Lynch. And I potentially hope that could happen with Bayley. But yeah, turn her heel at WrestleMania. Or you could turn Lyra heel. And then that's something freshening up the character. Because it could be like Lyra's just tired of it. She's annoyed with the back and forth. But they got to do something. Backstage, we get Pierce talking to JD. JD's trying to explain what's going on for Dom. Pierce is like, look, Dom can't wrestle. He loses his slot. Penta walks in the frame. Hits JD with the Cero Mero. Tells Pierce, thank you. He making his way to the ring because he's got a match coming up. We still don't know who his opponent is either. Coming back from break, apparently AJ Lee was still making her way backstage during all of that earlier stuff that was taking place. After her match and all the stuff I was talking about, AJ Lee was still at the ring. During the break, Becky Lynch comes through and attacks AJ Lee and apparently really roughs her up. I mean, some serious BTA situation. And after all of that, she grabs the title and runs into her head with it. So this is something that they're really trying to push, really want to sell the rivalry between the two. Like if this was GM mode, this is probably level 2 right now. Give it 3 more weeks. It'll be heating up to level 3 and you'll be ready for your WrestleMania match. And that's what's happening here. Penta makes his entrance. Penta has a very, very expensive entrance. He got lights. He's got smoke. He's got fireworks. He's got the thing spinning behind him. They really like pushing his entrance. They like pushing the fact that he was like oh my God. WWE sometimes worries me. Like they're coming off with Penta like he was such a down and out wrestler. Like he was barely making it. He comes from hard times and shout out Dusty Rhodes. But like almost like he was like some type of homeless charity case. And I'm like, look, Penta grew up in a rough environment, but they're selling it like he's Pepe from the episode of The Simpsons. Do your research, man. I ain't got to tell y'all everything. It's classic. But anyway, Penta gets in the ring and he cuts a promo exclaiming about the fact that he's going to be a fighting champion and how he's here for whoever and it doesn't matter. Cue his opponent who happens to be Dragon Lee. This should definitely be a banger. Dragon Lee versus Penta for the IC title. Dragon Lee has been on a run since him and AJ Lee got together as tag team partners. Former tag team champion. He had that storyline with Gunther, really got to show what he could do. Put on a showing every time he had a match. So him versus Penta seems like good money. Starting off, they trade holds. They both do dueling kip-ups. And then they both hit the Penta strut. The crowd's here for it. Penta stops all the mirroring with a stiff kick to the midsection. Dragon Lee hits a Hurricane Rana and a pendulum drop kick. Penta hit a super kick in the corner and then his headstand drop kick to Dragon Lee. Penta goes outside. They both exchange dives on each other to the outside. Penta hit a crossbody for a 2 count. As a spot where, they do the yay boo spot between the two. Yay for Penta. And it wasn't a real boo, but someone had to be the so it was more like yay, and Dragon Lee was the Sorry, I keep bumping the mic. But again, Penta stops all the hubbub with a big boot. But then Dragon Lee catches him with a big boot. So, I mean, high flying, great match between the two. The luchadors always put on a match. And the reason why is because historically, they put on the best product that they possibly can. None of them ever purposely try to shortchange the audience. So they give it their all. Like, they're not trying to outdo their contemporaries. They're trying to give the audience the best show that they can give them. And these two did not disappoint. Dragon Lee reverses and catches Penta in the Styles Clash. Penta blocks the Operation Dragon into the Penta driver, only gets 2. The 2 of them trade kicks. On the apron, Dragon Lee takes off while Penta's outside. Penta's outside on the ring because he's like lost, kind of shook up. He's sitting on the announcer's table. Penta is dazed, sitting on the edge of the announcer table. Dragon Lee runs off the rope, bounces, and hits a speedball, cannonball, and hits Penta in the chest. It looked like some Super Street Fighter 2 type stuff. Like, I ain't never seen that. Well, obviously, I've seen him do it before. But that move it's bananas, the way he runs and dives and connects. You're talking about clearing like a 10, maybe 12-foot gap, maybe more than that. From the ring to the announcer's table, maybe 15. He's clearing some distance on that. Lee gets him back in the ring, hits the Operation Dragon, only gets 2. Dragon Lee sets him up for like super elbow. Penta ducks that, bounces off the rope, catches Dragon Lee with the Mexican Destroyer, rebounding off the ropes. Done, son. You're done. 1, 2, 3. Penta wins and retains his IC title. Cut to backstage. You got Theory and Logan Paul talking to Paul Heyman. They're explaining to Paul Heyman what they gonna do, like Heyman really care. Either way, Heyman like, no, don't worry about Seth. Leave Seth alone. Seth wants y'all to do something to him. We don't have no leverage. We ain't got no power. What y'all need to do is go get the tag titles. Go get the Usos. Why he tells them to get the Usos, I don't know. What reasoning? No clue. But I'm guessing that's the way we're going for WrestleMania. Usos versus Division for the tag titles. We'll see what happens with that. Next, we had a very quick situation with Maxine. She makes her way out. She has a match against Natty. But Maxine comes out jolly and cheesing and smiling and high-fiving the fans. And it's merely because they want her to replicate her entrance from the video game because they're plugging that. This character is weak sauce. I try to defend it for as long as I can. This is nothing to Maxine herself. No disrespect at all. It's the character work, not the work she's doing. It's how they're making her portray it. It's very unbelievable. The storyline is stale. Dare I say dead. This rivalry is cold. I would be over with it. And what's happening is they're forcing it, but they're the reason it failed because of how they gave it to us, how they portrayed it, how they presented it. But anyway, she makes her way out to the ring. Natty makes her way out. It's like Natty's over intense, but I'll run through the match quick. Natty starts off in main control. Like, she hits a middle rope slingshot, puts Maxine in a tree of woe, puts Maxine in a tree of woe in the corner. Maxine rolls up into a submission and catches Natty in an ankle lock at one point. Clothesline on Natty. She hits a fisherman suplex and a standing leg drop on Natty for a 2 count. Natty gets back in control. Momentum's on her side. Hits a discus lariat on Maxine. Into the sharpshooter for the tap out win. I mean, we've seen this match for about 2.5 months now. We knew it was happening for about 4. Again, we can fast forward past this every time as far as they usually give us bathroom breaks with all the commercials and video promos and recaps from the weeks before. Respectfully, the storyline is over with me, man. Hang it up. It's a bathroom break, baby. And I say that with love. But after the match, we get a pre-taped interview from Randy Orton, and they try to lead us to believe that it's live. Michael Cole is supposedly interviewing Randy Orton live, but it's very much apparent that Randy pre-recorded this interview, maybe out front of his crib, potentially with a stand and his wife operating the camera, which is fine. But Randy basically said, and he started the interview with a 1 second, please. He was on the phone with someone very important, very polite. And he said, basically, the person on the phone reminded him that he was who he is, and he's a killer. And That's all he got to say about that. It's not going to be an interview. He just wants to let Cody know wrestling has more than one royal family. I'm very curious on what that could mean. Could be Bob Orton. Could be The Rock. It could be Triple H. It would make sense on why he's been in all the promo WrestleMania commercials and everything, voiceovers. I mean, if all the plans were in the air, might as well try something. But this is something I definitely want to elaborate on because this potential storyline is one of the things I was speaking about when it comes to turning individuals heel. Randy is in the position where he's heel and he's being cheered. Is it because they like seeing heel Randy? Maybe. Is it more so because this heel Randy is going against a Cody Rhodes that the universe might be becoming exhausted with? Maybe. But all I know is we're about to see what's happening. That's a lot of mystery going on in WWE. A lot of will they, won't they, who's behind the scenes pulling the strings going on. It is what it is. I'm a fan, but I can only stand for so much, and it's a lot of secretives. They pull the secret card when they don't know what's happening. I could tell you what's going to happen. They're going to end up having to call The Rock to sell tickets. In case of emergency, break glass, and that's what they're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to finish running through the rest of Raw. I'm going to give y'all my opinions like I've been doing. Thank y'all for staying locked in with me. Hang tight. We almost out of there. We'll be right back, though. And we're back. Yes, sir. All right. Now, we're going to pick up where we left off from. And that's backstage with Dragon Lee consoling himself. Javon Evans walks in. He's all excited like he normally is. He's slapping Dragon Lee like, yo, you put on a show out there. Dragon Lee like, let's say take it easy, Holmes. And Javon like, oh, my bad. You know, he just supercharged up. Kofi walks in. Kofi tells Javon like, look, man, you need to think about rocking with some people that can help elevate you and not hold you back. Being with the right crew can get you in the right doors. He take a shot at Dragon Lee because he say like, you know, give with people that's going to lift you up, or you can stay with people that's going to be dragging you down. Javon like, oh, you want to take shots at my boy? How about this? Nah, we ain't doing that. Grayson like, I don't know what you seeing, dude. He like, you know what? A lot of people say the same thing to me and Woods about you. You, Danhausen. This is a funny spot. And he like, yo, I heard y'all looking for somebody to join a New Day. And he hit the very nice, very evil. And I popped, you know what I'm saying? And then Kobe like, look, we ain't looking for nobody to join New Day. We not looking for Danhausen. So do me a favor and disappear with you and your curse. So Dan was like, all right, I just got 3 words for you. You are. And as he threw the curse, Kofi pulled Grayson in front of him. So Grayson get cursed. And Danhausen hit the, you are cursed. You are cursed. You are cursed. And they get to bickering about if the curse hit him or not, or where it really went. It was pretty funny. Decent spot. Next spot, or shall I say next match, Stephanie Vaquer makes her way to the ring. She is about to face Raquel Rodriguez. This match is solely to soften up Stephanie for Liv. During this match, Raquel shoulder tackles Stephanie, hits her with some knees in the corner. Stephanie gets a roll up for the 2. But this match is Raquel's size and power versus Stephanie's experience and speed. It adds to the storyline with her and Liv for both women. Stephanie, because she has the match against Liv at WrestleMania, and Raquel, because someone still has to talk to me about that Royal Rumble spot. And I feel like they're saving that for maybe SummerSlam. But in this particular match, Stephanie gets the upper hand until Raquel gets them to the outside, and she just missiles Stephanie into the ring post. Stephanie locks in a sleeper on the inside of the ring, but Raquel reverses it in the corner, hits her elbows. Stephanie hits a top rope crossbody on Raquel, gets Raquel in the corner, hits her patented dragon screw on the leg, and then the Meteora into the corner. Initially, Raquel blocks the devil's kiss and hits a stalling vertical suplex that's reversed. Raquel misses her corkscrew bomb, like, the corkscrew bomb she does in the corner. She missed it, which leads Stephanie to hits the devil kiss. Liv jumps on the apron to try to distract, which works. And Steph runs into a big boot from Raquel. Cue Io Sky's music? Io Sky comes down to run interference and essentially help Stephanie because the respect between the two wrestlers. Liv is playing coy. She goes, runs to attack Io. Io swings, Liv ducks. Io turns around, and Raquel just pounces Io over the announce table, bows her up. Raquel turns back into a senton from off of the apron from Stephanie. Stephanie goes after Liv, attacks her, throws Liv into the timekeeper's area, hits a dab on Raquel, but Raquel catches her into a spinning slam. Raquel gets ready to go for the Tejana bomb. Stephanie reverses it, rolls her up, gets the 3. So they keep both women strong during the actual bout. Stephanie uses her experience and her smarts to roll up Raquel to steal the victory, essentially. Love the way this is being built. Love the way this is going. Backstage, Lyra and Bayley are talking, and Bayley is initially going off, getting mad, getting loud. Lyra's trying to calm her down, like, look, we both gonna get this opportunity. We both going to WrestleMania. I'm going to help you get there. We both gonna get there. But in the cut, in the back, you see Maxine sitting on the ground. Then you see Theory walk up, saying something. And WWE loves to do these backstage things where something's happening in one spot, but they want you to draw your attention to what's happening in the cut. And this is one of them situations. So Logan Paul, Austin Theory are talking to Maxine. Keep a pin in that. We're going to see what comes from that. But during a conversation with Lyra and Bayley, the Kabuki Warriors walk up. And Oscar basically says, y'all cost me my title shot. Y'all not dealing with us. Y'all can't mess with me. Do not get in my business. Kyrie still playing scared. She's a trapped student. She needs to be set free. Kyrie tells them to stay away from us. Oscar yells, Kyrie! Kyrie looks scared. She looking nervous, and then she takes off. Then they do a recap to the opening of Raw. The Raw we just saw. But they want to get over the fact that Brock Lesnar just got assaulted by Obafemi, so I get it. Backstage, the Usos walking through the arena, and LA Knight cuts them off. And he say, look, I'm not really feeling this whole connection with Roman thing y'all got going on. And if y'all getting ready to do that old bloodline situation, I can tell you right now, I'm not rocking with it. What's going on? And Jimmy like, man, it's just family business. And Jay like, yeah, so stay out of it. And LA Knight, yeah. He like, look, I can respect family business. I got the most whatever. I get it, family business. But I'm just saying, if it's about that, you feel me? Jimmy shakes LA Knight's hand. LA Knight go to shake. Yeah. Go to shake Jay's hand. No shake. No yeet. LA Knight like, yeah. And walk off. So, I mean, this character work with Jay, keep this intensity. All you got to do is think about how mad people were when you were getting your world championship run. Use that intensity. Finally, we are coming to the main event, which is Roman Reigns. He is the main event of this episode. He makes his long entrance to the ring. He gets in the ring and he welcomes the fact that he opened the show. He was in the middle of the episode and he's closing it out. He calls Punk out. He gets right to it. Let's get to it. Let's call Punk out. Maybe Punk forget the hierarchy. Punk comes out. He makes his way to the ring, which is a very long, drawn-out entrance. The crowd is nuclear. They are hot for both of these wrestlers. They are Team Roman, and there's Team Punk. And I'm a Punk fan, but I'm telling you, the storylines be so real and legit. Roman got me paying attention. Roman has me paying attention. Roman says, Punk, welcome to my main event. Welcome to my show. Punk like, look, you keep using my real names. I guess it's supposed to be like a sign of disrespect. Only my friends call me by my government name. He don't like that. He really don't like that. And I knew that he wouldn't. That's another way you could tell this is personal between the two of them. Roman basically tells Punk like, look, you ain't main eventing nothing and you can't main event nothing. You trying to talk about how you got me in the main event. And just for clarification, Roman decided not to go full throttle with the movies and decided he wanted a spot in the main event, and this is why we got here. So Roman did call his own shot. This has nothing to do with Punk. Because again, Punk got the title because Seth got hurt. So it would have been Seth versus Roman for the title, if I'm not mistaken, was the direction. I might be a little off with that one, but it was going that way. Punk say, I called you out last week, but you was too chicken to come out here. You sent your cousins. Punk say, I crossed the line. I did. And what I got last week, I deserved. It was the correct message. It was the wrong messengers. So who's the real OTC? Roman like, look, I'm tired of hearing that. I've been hearing that for 5 years. That don't move me. Check it out. Punk, you're redundant. You say the same thing. You're not a top earner. You don't know what it's like to be us. Ask your wife about that. Punk is annoyed with Roman. Roman drop bars. Roman say, look, until you have something of importance to say to me, don't waste my time, Phil. Leaves the ring. Roman cooking him. Punk cuts him off 3-4 separate times. Like, nah, you don't get to say what you want and did in depth. This my show. I got the belt. It's my main event. You gonna listen. Punk explains how he gonna beat Roman, how he gonna put him in the GTS, put him over his knee, split his ego in two. Roman like, look, I ain't want to go here with it, but you tripping. You're delusional. You good on the mic. Like you good with the mental games, but I'm the most successful superstar you've ever faced. And the truth is, Phil, and this is where your meal is done, everything's cooked. He say, you're not faster than me. You're not stronger than me. You can't do what I do in the ring. You not fine as me. You're nothing to me. Title around your waist, that's an embarrassment. You're a try-hard, and you're making all of us look terrible. Because at the end of the day, you're old. And Punk snapped and pushed Roman down. Pause right here. Now, initially, what I heard was this was supposed to be a line about Larry, the dog. And for whatever reason, the line was scrapped. They changed it. I don't know if it was Punk's call. We don't know if it was backstage management behind Peter being offended or something along those lines. But after that, Punk pushed Roman down and he stands over him and he kind of antagonizing him. And Roman's just cheesing. Roman's just smiling because now Roman's in Punk's head. He knew it, but now we see it. Punk is kind of breaking down. Security comes, gets between them, separates Punk from Roman, gets Punk out of the ring. And you can see Punk recognizes that he just did what Roman wanted him to do. He fell for the bait. He got him. And Roman like, yeah, Punk took all that talk. But you say one little thing to him and he snaps. Who's in whose head? Roman Reigns is doing work on the way to WrestleMania. The man is putting on a clinic when it comes to being the main event of the wrestling show. This is turning out to be one of the marquee matches. I mean, I know it was the main event, but this is becoming the match to see. Roman versus Punk, the story is legit. Cody versus Randy has large implications. Probably looking at a major heel turn in that match. But that's how we close out the show. And that is the recap for the March 2026 episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. It was a decent episode. Again, they're not really rocking anything that SmackDown doing. SmackDown's 30 minutes longer, and they cook from start to finish every time. No wasted minutes, no wasted TV time. The promos, the interviews, outside of the Jade Cargill stuff, which I got to start expanding on SmackDown's show because they just did a swerve that nobody saw coming, and this might actually save her character. No cap. But we'll go into that one another time. Thank y'all for staying tuned in with your boy. Hopefully it wasn't too much stuttering during the recording. I know I bumped the mic a couple of times. Don't sue me. Y'all know how it gets when I get excited about what I'm talking about. But anyway, let me drop the handles. But you can catch your boy on YouTube, Rondo2 I think it's Rondo023. I always get confused by that. I need to just have it pulled up and prepared. But I'm pretty sure it's Rondo023. I'm on TikTok as Rondo01. Instagram, Parnell_Shuttlesworth. Snapchat is Snapchat. What's the Snapchat? Rondo0. PS5, yo_moms_homie. That's where your mom's homie come from. Hit me up somewhere, man. Wherever you see me on the platforms, I got links on everything, so just check your boy out. I gotta get ready and get out of here. It's a busy week ahead of me. Y'all pray for me, be safe out there. You know who I am. I'm Rondo, a.k.a. Parnell Shuttlesworth, b.k.a. your mom's homie, a.k.a. Young Ash Ketchum. I gotta catch 'em all. F.k.a. Mr. Big Stuff. And my pronouns is Black Matrix. I'll catch y'all on the other side of the rainbow. Be careful out there and watch yourself. Pray up. Sorry for the wait.